Also, if you have any great questions, we want everybody to know and understand this is a safe space. We are all here to learn. So if you have a question that is going to challenge our panelists, we welcome you. We want you to please come up at the question and answer sections, and please don't hold back. Give us all you got, and we welcome you. And
challenge these guys here.
Please do. They came up here for a reason. Let's give them a good reason to be here. Okay? So thank you so much for being here.
So I'll start with Mr. Del Bigtree here. This is a huge topic, as we could see by the audience here, and we've all watched the video. I guess the basic first question for all of you, and I'll start with Del, is, are vaccines safe? I think that's what most parents want to know off the rip in the beginning. Are they safe?
Well, I think that should be, we should see the other side. I think we have a video to show how often we hear that in the news, which is where I work. So if we could see that video, and then I'll speak to it.
The American Academy of Pediatrics reiterating today, vaccines are safe, effective, and save lives.
Vaccines save millions of lives, and it's really safe for people to get them all at the same time.
I understand people are scared about putting chemicals in their children. I totally understand that, but they have been proven safe in study after study.
Make clear your position, the position of my dad, a pediatrician. Get your kids immunized. It is the safest thing to do.
Get them immunized and do it on schedule.
Children should get vaccinated against preventable and potentially deadly diseases, period.
All right. So in television, you bring in these people and you discuss issues like that, and you know what the stance is, especially on the doctor's television show. Vaccines are safe, vaccines are effective. Well, after making Vaxxed, I was asked as I traveled the country with that film, is it only the MMR vaccine? Because Vaxxed was only about one vaccine, one fraud, one cover-up by the CDC and Dr. William Thompson. What about all the other vaccines? And I couldn't answer that. All I could tell you is as we traveled in a bus across the country, parents were coming up and blaming every single vaccine for either a death or an injury in their family. And I started recognizing it's more than just the MMR vaccine. So I think I'm one of the few journalists in the world that has done nothing but investigate vaccines and this idea of whether they're safe or not for 3 years. How do you do that? The way I learned to do that on the doctor's television show was to read medical journals. I read the studies. So when doctors say vaccines are safe, when Sanjay Gupta says vaccines are safe, my question was, where are those studies? I hear about the studies. I hear doctors say there's thousands of studies that prove they're safe. I started reading them, and I put together a nonprofit to read them, and I've worked with great people. But we had an amazing opportunity when Robert F. Kennedy Jr. was asked by Donald Trump to meet with the National Institute of Health about vaccine safety. We worked together with a great team of lawyers and doctors and scientists to put together what issues we had with the vaccine program. We presented it to the NIH, which was heads of CDC, AMA, all the major luminaries of our health department, HHS, and we presented a PowerPoint. I'm going to just show you what I think are some of the most cogent points that we made. It started out just like this.
I'm Teresa Deischer, and I am a scientist, the president and founder of Sound Choice Pharmaceutical Institute. So a vaccine consists of a virus. The virus is a long chain of nucleic acid, and nucleic acid is what makes up our DNA, what makes up our RNA, and it's too long to make in a test tube. So we mimic nature's way of propagating or growing viruses, and we infect cells. What there is in the final product, when we use cells that have been made from an aborted fetus, are human fetal DNA fragments and cellular debris, and in quite high levels. MMR, chickenpox, Zostavax, that's shingles from Merck, all hepatitis A containing vaccines, Pentacell, the polio component of that, and one of the rabies vaccines. What you have are procurement companies who are working side by side, literally, with the abortionist, and typically right in the building. So what happens with the heart is that it will actually go into this contracture. And once that happens, you can't get good data from it. You can't get cells that will beat and work. So the tissue really becomes useless. It has to be flushed and put into a preservative that stops the heart within 2 minutes. The baby has to be born alive, or they're not going to be able to get the heart and get it rushed and get it in the blocked solution, right, so that they can preserve it for processing. Well, a fetus born intact is definitely dead when they cut its heart out. And they're not given any anesthetic. I would never do this to a mouse or a rat. I would not be surprised that we might get some hard numbers, not in the so distant future, that abortions are delayed later and later so that the scientists and the procurement companies can get better late-term tissue. Well, it's not an old technique. Some of the cell lines that they're using for vaccine manufacture were made back in the 70s. They're starting to kind of poop out, so they actually have to make new cell lines to replace those. On a daily basis, aborted babies are harvested and exploited for biomedical research, and the practice continues because we close our eyes to the ethics of vaccines. And when we do that to people who don't share our moral outlook, there's no difference between an abortion done in 1970 and an abortion done yesterday. We absolutely know that the levels of DNA in these vaccines get into our children's bloodstream at levels that are above, sometimes 100-fold higher than levels of fetal DNA that has been demonstrated to massively activate the immune response, causing a general cytokine release, and cytokines are toxins. And we are giving children 10 to 100-fold higher concentrations. We absolutely know toll-like receptor 9 will be activated. The pharmaceutical companies have never measured cytokine release, and they've never measured that acute autoimmune response. Absolutely, there are alternative cell lines that we can use to manufacture the vaccines. We can use animals and animal models, which are actually better because adult animals are more similar to the human if you choose the right animal and you do a correct model than looking at fetal material is. At a minimum, read a bit of the package insert and you will see the acknowledged side effects that could happen to your normal, healthy child. Do a risk evaluation. Is your child at risk for this disease? If they were to get the disease, what are the consequences of getting the disease? Is it really that bad, or could we medically manage it very well so my child would be fine? I would encourage all parents to ask their doctors how immunity is caused by a vaccine. And if your doctor doesn't talk to you about toll-like receptors, then your doctor either knows nothing about immunity or virology, that's vaccinology, or they're not telling you the truth, and you should get a doctor who knows what they're talking about or tells you the truth.
you.